What's up, good people? It's your boy DJTheParkBoy back in the building. This is episode 15 of the L.I.M.E show, Life in My Eyes with DJTheParkBoy. And I'm your boy DJTheParkBoy. We're in the building. For those who support it, make sure you go check out the merch store. Go cop some merch. Make sure you go check out them other promo codes we have. Go check out Chap Floss and put in that promo code Flosses. Go check out jkdistro.com. Use that promo code Floss1. Get you some good Delta weed. I'm in a good mood. You know why? I'm going to be in a good mood for a long time because my Baltimore Ravens won. Not only that, I wasn't expecting to play like fantasy football, but guess what? I picked up my team that was automatically drafted to me, made some waiver moves, and went out there and got a win in week 2 because I definitely lost week 1. That's because, I didn't pick my team. The computer did it for me. But I still got that W because guess what? The computer was smart. They got me Lamar Jackson, and I feel like that's all I need. I can build around that, and I'm going to win. I told y'all my boy going to get an MVP. He going to do that. And it's not even my sports show. So I'm not going to stick on football long. I just want to let y'all know it's been a good week. It's been a great week, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? A great week. And since it's been a great week, I'm going to go ahead and get into a good story. We're going to go ahead and talk about a legend. A legend. One of my favorite comedians. One of my favorite comedic actors. A legend. Eddie Murphy. Because guess what? He just got a new deal with Amazon to produce 3 new movies. Now I admit it. I more so prefer his work, earlier on in his career. But it's still Eddie Murphy. So I'm always going to show him some love because guess what? His early work deserved the respect for me to at least try the stuff I don't even like from him. Because he got some movies that's just like, man, why did you do that? Especially later on in his career. But let's get into this article. Amazon Studios has closed a 3-picture first look film deal with Oscar nominee and Emmy Award winner Eddie Murphy. Under this deal, Murphy will star in 3 films for Amazon Studios and develop original film projects for Prime Video and studios with the potential to star in them. This news comes in the wake of Murphy's Coming to America 2 being the most watched movie on Amazon Prime in its opening weekend, which is, that's kind of dope. Coming to America 2 had a lot of expectations. Did they reach the expectations? I would have preferred a newer story because I feel like Coming to America was just too much of a classic movie for you to try to do a sequel 30 years later. It's hard to catch that same magic because we're definitely in a different time, and some of them jokes you may have got off in the late 80s, early 90s ain't flying today. But, say Amazon paid $125 million for the movie. That's a big budget. So, if you spend that type of money, I would hope it does come in as your most streamed movie because I'm pretty sure y'all didn't spend that much money on anything else on y'all programming that's original content. Of course, Eddie, I don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? He's had things like Beverly Hills Cops. I think the last great movie I saw from Eddie Murphy is probably Daddy Daycare. That might be the last good, funny movie that I can say I truly appreciated from Eddie Murphy. There may be some others because I don't have a list of movies right here in front of me. But the list ain't that long, you know what I'm saying? After like the 2000s, he kind of starts falling off that the cliff a little bit when it comes to movie selections. Oh, he was in Dreamgirls. Not the biggest fan of Dreamgirls because I don't like musicals. I can never get into the musical thing. You're having a conversation in the movie and then you just break out in song, you lose me. Every single time. And that's partially, what is that? The Beyonce movie she did that was like a hip opera, something they called it like that. That movie was, I can't watch musicals at all. So Dreamgirls definitely got him an Oscar nomination, but it ain't my cup of tea. I've seen parts of it. I've definitely seen parts of Eddie Murphy in that, but could never watch the whole thing because it's just too much singing. Uh I mean, somebody over here in the studio said Norbit. Yes, Norbit was hilarious. Watched that not too long ago. Norbit is hilarious. But then again, for every Norbit, you have like the Adventures of Pluto Nash, which you might be too young to remember that. I definitely got somebody in the studio right now, but you may be too young to remember the Adventures of Pluto Nash. But that was kind of like a buzz. Then he had the movie when he was like lying and stuff. Couldn't finish that movie. I'm just saying he had some duds in this past century. Before then, he was money. That's like, for instance, I recently watched the movie. What is it, Metro? I believe it's Metro, or is it like Boldwinkle, something like that? When the movie they're pranking Eddie Murphy and filming a movie around him without him knowing that he's being filmed in the movie. That movie was hilarious, but of course it came before 2000, and that's kind of my point. It ain't been that much fire since then. Now to get on to another story right here, and I found this one a little funny when I saw it, but apparently they have a prototype for the new Yeezys that's coming out, and boy oh boy, when I say Kanye West, man, hey, you are the man. The fact that you come up with these awkward, weird designs and you get people to actually want to go buy these things. But let me show y'all what these look like, because what are those? What are these? Look like some soft ass prison banana boat shoes that he has come up with, and I do not understand that shit. Yeezy. These jeans look like they have no cushion at all. Like no protection for your ankles, no protection for the bottom of your feet. They just look terrible. It looked like Ice-T commented on this, so they look like candy corn. I kind of agree. Those look like banana boat shoes for real, man. And them James probably going for, I don't know. I know he's going to be taxing. He's definitely going to be taxing. Because, it's Kanye West, and his Yeezy merch has made him a billionaire. So people keep buying this, you know. He brought back the homeless look. People enjoyed that. I don't know how he got away with that. He was charging people $500 for a t-shirt with holes in them. People line up for some of the most ridiculous things sometimes. Like, we really do live in a materialistic world where your name brand is so big, you can put out these shoes and people gonna still go get them. This has to be probably my least favorite pair of Yeezys I've ever seen. And he had the marshmallow big loop jeans. You know what I'm talking about? The marshmallow jeans. Matter of fact, let's pull those up right there. Everything's right here. I'm just saying, these ain't it for me. These look like some spacewalker marshmallows. Like, maybe he's ahead of the time. He's ahead of the curve. He's thinking in the year 3000 while we still here in 2021. That's what these are looking like. He is ahead of the curve when it comes to these, because I most definitely won't be copying these. They selling these for resale for almost $500. Y'all spending $500 on these? Whew, I hope y'all got some investments. Y'all got some land. Y'all got something smart that you can double down on your money with, because y'all just out here going crazy. Somebody said Yeezy off a jump, man. Michael Jordan would never, ever, ever in his life put out some shit like this. Never, ever, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Ever. Not for Michael's shoes. For the people signed underneath Jordan, they got some fuckboys. You know what I'm saying? They got some bad shoes. Because I've never seen anybody wear some Carmelos. And he was signed to Jumpman. That's like Zion. I think he signed to Jordan. Have you seen the Jordan Zions? I haven't. But I know if it was Michael Jordan on it, he is not coming out with some Spacewalkers, some Moon Mans, none of that shit. He coming out with some J's people gonna rock, stand in line for. His shoes so fire, they keep bringing them out in different colorways, and y'all still line up to go buy them. over and over and over again. I'm just saying, Kanye, you the man. You are the man because you are finessing people with these shoes, these holy clothes. They spending their bag on it. I can't knock the hustle. I'm just saying, I'm not signing up for that shit. I'm a pass that one off. That's for maybe the people younger than me. But I'm not doing it. Now, this story right here, I'm kind of excited about, man. So, my celebrity crush has been my celebrity crush for years. People who know me know I love this lady right here. To me, she can do no wrong. No wrong at all. And I even have it like known that if I was given a hall pass, this the one person that I'm expected to get a hall pass for. Like I done had that conversation. You gotta let me slide if she comes into my presence, and that lady is Rihanna. She has come out to say that she may have some new music on the way and you ain't gonna know what to expect, Wolfie. But guess what? It's Rihanna. So I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna jam. I'm gonna rock out. You're gonna see me two-stepping. I'm gonna get jiggy with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be out here doing my my two-step. Or as Fed Joe say, we don't dance. We just pull up our pants and lean back. I'm gonna have to do some of that to Rihanna. Because guess what? That's my baby. My baby boo. You know what I'm saying? As Shawty said in clickbait, my baby boo. Rihanna is mine. But I love my wifey, you know. We have these conversations, y'all, so don't hit me up like, oh, I don't want to hear none of that. She know. I love me Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into what she said right here. Let me bring up this audio.
You're not gonna expect what you hear. That's just put that in your mind. Like whatever you know of Rihanna is not gonna be what you hear. I'm really experimenting, and music is like it's like fashion. You should be able to play. I should be able to wear whatever I want, and I treat music the same way. So I'm having fun, and it's gonna be completely different. That's it.
So as you can see, she said the music she's gonna bring out isn't gonna be like anything we've heard from her. Don't expect the same, which is cool because you want an artist to switch it up. One thing that I loved about like Kanye's artistry, not to keep segueing back to Kanye, but he switched it up. Every album is totally a different album every single time. Whether I enjoy it or I don't, I'm out here the production on everything he does. But when it comes to the music, it's a different album every time, and I can appreciate that. It's the same guy. He's coming with the same swag, the same aggressiveness, but it's on a different style of music every single time. That's one thing that's helped Drake's longevity, and it helps his trajectory to where he is and where he's going. It's the fact that you don't box yourself in. So many people, when it comes to music and art, they will stay in one place, and it kind of hurts them. And of course, you want to keep making the stuff that people are going to enjoy. But you also have to make something that's going to help you get out of that same lane that you've been in, to help you expand your fan base. And Rihanna, man, I just love you, baby. Like, come on, y'all. Rihanna. Whoo. A$AP Rocky right now, he's probably like the luckiest man in America. The luckiest man in America, minus me, because, I like Rihanna, but she ain't fucking with my baby. You know what I'm saying? But I love you, Rihanna. So, yeah, this story right here made me happy, This story right here made me really, really happy because everybody came out the previous day talking about Tory Lanez has been arrested. And I don't wish jail on anybody. He's out right now. And again, in the case with him and Meg, I wasn't there. You wasn't there. Only people that was there were the people that were there. And until a witness or some information come out to say Tory pulled the trigger, he's innocent until proven guilty. I respect Meg's story. I respect every victim's story. But when it comes to our court system, public perception can't outrule actual law. It can't. And then I don't know if anybody's ever been. I'm not calling Meg a lie when I say this, because again, I know we're in the time that we're supposed to believe all women, But I know a lot of women, and I know women lie. Again, I'm not saying Meg lied. I'm not saying Meg lied. I'm just saying until we see evidence to show anything, then we don't know what the hell happened. Everything's just an accusation till we get some evidence. We don't have that yet. But they said that Tory Lanez had violated the restraining order put in place of his case with Meg. And when he went to go perform at Rolling Loud with the baby, it violated the stay away order that he had. And because of that, they said he was arrested. Internet went wild with it. But Tory Lanez had a response to everybody who came out there running with that when he posted up and academics reposted what he said. It's right here. He said, "Me at my house watching niggas on Twitter celebrating and thinking I'm going to jail." Which is, it's great. Of course, we have a huge contingent of people that's super believe all women, but I've also been in a situation where I had somebody try to ruin my life by lying on me. And that's amazing. When you don't touch somebody at all, but they just come out and say, "Hey," and people around them start saying, "Hey, look, why is she crying about this?" And you're like, "Hey, I didn't do anything." Only thing I can say is I didn't do anything. Where's the evidence of anything happening? Because I've never touched this person. But in some cases, the public will decide whether to end you beforehand or wait to the outcome. Of course, the court system doesn't always work because, i.e., with the R. Kelly situation, I believe he deserved to go to jail more from videotape evidence of what he did than, what's happening now. Some of the stories I look at it and maybe I'm looking at it from a weird lens, but I've also had conversations with women sort of kind of about how everything's playing out. It's rough. Don't cancel me. I know some of y'all gonna be offended and upset, but it's rough. You can't just naturally say somebody deserves to be in jail when you don't have no evidence. Show me the evidence. That's all I'm asking for is evidence. If you don't have no evidence, you can't ruin a man's life. Like I've heard so many people say they won't even listen to his music anymore. I've heard people that say they won't have a conversation with this guy anymore. He's been completely ostracized by a section of people actually within media and the hip hop community. It's not going to help his career if you got to deal with people trying to do that to your career. But I can understand why also they will want to separate themselves from the situation because you don't want to be seen as trying to support somebody who is caught up in that situation right now. You don't want to be caught in that. It's just tough. It's really tough. I'm waiting to see how this court case is going to play out, but he is free. He is a free man right now. And as far as the restraining order thing went, if he violated the terms, you can't, you know what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do in these situations, especially if you're already in court fighting things in court. Don't make the job easier for prosecutors and the prosecution. That's something you should not do. Do not make their jobs easier. So I'm going to get into this next story. And this one I found a little funny. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to funny comedians, of course, I said Eddie Murphy's one of my favorite comedians. These next two people have made huge impacts on the culture when it comes to comedy, and that's Cat Williams and Kevin Hart. Those two people have been beefing for a nice amount of time now. Usually when people come at Kevin Hart's jokes, you can look at it and say, maybe they hating. But there's also a contingent of comedians. I said, nah, they're pretty funny. The consensus is they're funnier than you, Kevin, i.e. Cat Williams. Now, do I know that Cat Williams fumbled the bag on that started this whole thing? Possibly. But I don't know everybody's situation. And from what I hear, his work ethic is up there. It's high. But do I know whether he fumbled the bag on that? That I don't know. I know Kevin Hart is a hard worker. But somebody asked Cat Williams about how would a versus go between the two of them. And I have the clip right here. Let me pull it up for y'all.
For Comedy Hype News, I'm Jay Will. Cat Williams has finally made his return to stand-up comedy, performing in arenas all over the country as a part of his World War III comedy tour. In order to promote that tour, Cat recently participated in an exclusive interview with radio personality Persia Nicole, where he was asked if he would be up to doing a versus battle between himself and Kevin Hart.
I started versus. Not come to me with versus. The first versus ever promoted was Steve Harvey versus Cat Williams. It was the underground king of comedy versus and sold as versus. So we don't need to ask me if I would have any interest in things that I am the originator of.
So I don't know if you guys know, but previously, early on in Cat Williams' career, he had kind of like he had problems with like Steve Harvey early on in his career, and it led up to like them getting on stage, I guess trying to do jokes against each other, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they actually went up there and did jokes against each other versus kind of style. And this was like when early on when Cat Williams was really starting to make his rise in the comedy. Steve Harvey still had the mantle of a king of comedy. In my opinion, that's a little stretch because Steve is funny, but king of comedy, even in his, I mean, maybe for his time, but in totality, I don't know why I would rank any of those guys who were kings of comedy minus Bernie Mac, because he was just funny. Bernie was, I would put him up there on the list of like those guys. But let me get back into the story.
Beefing is my lane. It's almost cheating for me. I have over 10 specials, so I don't have to pick but 2 jokes from each special, and I've already deaded anybody whose last name ain't Pryor.
Cat would go on to imply that he would beat anyone, including Hart, with his previous body of work. When Cat claimed that the first versus was between himself and Steve Harvey, he's referring to a New Year's Eve show in 2008 when the two were scheduled to perform together. In a 2009 interview, Cat explained that he wasn't originally supposed to be a part of the show and was only added as a late addition in order to sell tickets. On the day of the show, Cat would issue out a statement directed towards Harvey.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to you, because you didn't have to accept this. You could have just said, no, I'm not going to do it. You have been the king of comedy as long as we've had one. Matter of fact, the whole phrase, king of comedy, can be attributed to you. And I am honored that you would allow me to share the same stage as you. I don't know why people made this a championship bout. I don't know why you was okay with that. And I want to apologize for what's going to happen.
Who is this nigga?
But the second that you
Jim
get
Jones.
off stage, the second that you get off stage, I need you to understand that that's your final time as the king of comedy.
Harvey would then retaliate and respond on Jamie Foxx's then radio show, The Foxhole. Throughout the years, Kevin Hart and Cat Williams have not seen eye to eye, and this information is publicly known. In the past, Cat has called Kevin a Hollywood puppet and has even challenged him to either a rap cipher, comedy battle, boxing match, or basketball game live on social media. The rivalry between Kevin Hart and Cat Williams seems to be ignited once again. Now, if you remember when Versus started to gain popularity during quarantine in spring of 2020, Comedy Hype tweeted a poll that asked who would win in a live Instagram roast between the two comedic legends. Many chimed in to give their thoughts on who they thought would be victorious. This conversation even branched out to others giving their suggestions on who should compete in a Versus comedy battle. Damon Wayans vs. Dave Chappelle was another battle that caused excitement among the culture. However, with the history that both Cat and Kevin have, this may be the battle that everyone truly wants to see. What do you guys think? Would you like to see Cat Williams and Kevin Hart face off in a comedy versus battle? And who do you think will win? Let's talk about it more in the comments below.
So that's pretty much the end of that video right there, where it gets into their situation. And side note, shout out to Foxhole Radio, man. I don't know if anybody else used to listen to that, but that used to be great radio at one point in time. But I would definitely think Cat Williams would beat Kevin Hart in a versus. If you had to go joke for joke, role for role, what is Kevin Hart's most iconic roles compared to, like, does he have a character that he played that's bigger than Cat Williams being a pimp? He turned that into like a whole character that he ran with to make himself blow up even more. He made diss songs as a pimp. I don't know if people ever heard of that, but you know, Cat Williams is really talented. He can rap, he can do all of that. I mean, I would definitely take him in a one-on-one versus Kevin Hart. But if it came to totality of success and money and things like that, which, you know, money shouldn't be the objective of the conversation, but Kevin Hart got the ball and ran with it. He did not fumble the bag. Whether you think he's funny or he's not, he's successful. He owns a lot of his production. And as a black man, trust me, I got to salute him for that. He's definitely killing it in business. Whether you could, Cat Williams said he's a puppet. I don't know if I'm going to fully say he's a puppet, but, you know, when you play in certain circles and you're trying to do certain things, sometimes you can't be as abrasive. Not everybody can be successful in business acting and maneuvering like they're 50 Cent. He's a rare breed. You know what I'm saying? He's a rare breed. And even then, nobody talks about his work ethic because he puts the work behind anything he tries to do. It would be interesting to see. I definitely would probably prefer to see Dave Chappelle and Damon Wayans in a versus more than I would Cat Williams and Kevin Hart. Because those two guys are funnier than these two guys. I love them, but both of them are funnier in my opinion. So, getting to the next story, we're going to talk about our former President George W. Bush. And he went and he did he was giving a speech about 9/11 where a soldier came out and confronted him. And the things that the soldier said resonated with me because he said nothing but facts. And let me just get straight into what he said because it's words out of his mouth.
Mr. Bush, when are you going to apologize for the million Iraqis that are dead because you lied? You lied about weapons of mass destruction. You lied about connections to 9/11. You lied about Iraq being a threat. You sent me to Iraq. You sent me to Iraq in 2003. My friends are dead.
So what he said right there is facts. George Bush and his administration lied. They lied about weapons of mass destruction. They lied about Iraq's connection to 9/11. They lied about the threat that Iraq posed to the American people. But yet, they propagated stories to get us into wars that was a lie. There are countless soldiers who admit, I went in immediately fighting for my country. Then I got over there and saw what we were doing. Now I'm just fighting for the people who are standing shoulder to shoulder with me. I had a friend who was in the army, and he said that's one thing that was so hard for him to leave because he cared more about protecting his brothers beside him than he cared about being over there. That's tough. Like, you go over there and you lose friends in something that you were lied into, and nobody from the other side, there's any repercussions. People made trillions of dollars from these wars. That money is gone. There were people in America who could have used some of those trillions of dollars that went to the defense contractors and companies. But we lied. We were lied to. And I feel the guy's pain. I'm going to finish getting into what he was saying.
You killed people. You lied. You lied about WMD. A million Iraqis are dead because you lied. My friends are dead because you lied. You need to apologize. Apologize.
I also find that a little weird that towards the end you hear people booing a former soldier. We're supposed to be patriots. We're supposed to be people who appreciate our war heroes, but yet you start booing him when he gives you his truth. He lost people in war. It's something that we shouldn't have been in at all. Over 1 million Iraqis dead. Mostly people who had nothing to do with any terrorist groups. We killed so many civilians. It's crazy that you can know that out of those million, probably 90% of them were civilians. You can't make it up. These are true facts. George Bush technically should be considered a war criminal, but would he? No, because Barack Obama and Michelle Obama tried to bring George Bush back into public sphere. They that picture of Michelle Obama giving George Bush a piece of candy and them looking friendly and laughing, that's what brought him back. He was down and out where he should have been. Technically, he probably should be arrested. The government failed on 9/11, and then they used the 9/11 attacks to propagate things that weren't true. Some of these things were plans that were already built into the military defense industry. They already had targets they wanted to get to, and they used 9/11, which was already a failure of our government, to implement these things that continued on more failure of our government. It's crazy to me that they are trying to bring back George Bush as some sort of hero. Because he was a little bit of anti-Trump, he became a hero? Really? Like, that amazes me. Like, what goes through people's minds when we pick and choose who's supposed to be our leaders, who's supposed to be our heroes, who's supposed to be the people that guide us? He was in a position of power and failed us. He should be held accountable for his failures. Same thing with any person who's in a position of power. If you're in the public sphere and you're a public official of power and you make a mistake, you need to pay for that. He should be paying for that. Because never, ever has ever been a war on an ideal, which is terrorism. Because of that, now we're in never-ending wars. We went from 2 wars when he left to over 7 places we were dropping bombs in, 7 countries, almost on a daily. So it's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that we spent so much money. We have so many problems at home. That's fixable. That's affordable compared to the money we spent there. They said we could have had high-speed rail throughout America for the cost we spent on Afghanistan alone. Like, that doesn't make any sense. We had a chance to improve ourselves. Instead, we set ourselves back even further. And that's all thanks to George H.W. Bush. Yeah, George, man. You lied. He's correct. You lied. Your officials lied. This story right here comes from part of an interview that Bill Gates did. They asked him about his connections to Jeffrey Epstein. And if you don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is, he's a creep. He was a creep who had so many powerful friends that he ended up meeting with the rich, the elite, constantly. Bill Gates was one of those people. And Bill Gates met with Epstein after Epstein was arrested in 2015. He still met with him, hung with him, and things like that. Which is a little weird because he's just been, fighting cases for pedophilia and sex trafficking. But you still go meet with him. And for somebody to be one of the richest people in the world to say that his reasons for meeting with somebody because they had access to money, you're Bill Gates. You've been the richest man on paper for about the last 20 years almost. Why do you need somebody else who says they're going to connect you to other rich people? You should damn near know all the rich people. I'm pretty sure y'all hang out in places together. You're not hanging out with the regular folks. I know you ain't doing that. You got too much money. That means you have the money to be in the places that's considered exclusive because of cost. You telling me you couldn't meet other rich people there? Rich people donate money all the time to get write-offs on their taxes. You couldn't get those people to donate to your charities without Jeffrey Epstein? That sounds weird to me. Really, really weird. You know what I'm saying? For the mainstream media who gives him a pass, that makes me look at you in a certain way because, yeah, that don't sound right. He's already rich. He has access to any bankers who can help him with tax things, who can help him with money. You just have connections. You're Bill freaking Gates. Let me get into what he talked about, though.
Was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
I'm gonna pause it right here. He just looks so squirmy. He looks like it hurts for him to lie that he's meeting with this guy. He has countless meetings. He's on record having countless meetings, and now he's trying to say it wasn't that many meetings, or wasn't this, or wasn't that. You had no reason to really need Epstein in your circle, in your atmosphere, but yet he was there. He was there. There's no denying that. And you went to go meet with him. That kind of puts you in the creep category situation too, because this was after he got the charges. Why do you need a middleman to help you meet other people with money when you're the richest man in the world? There's no way possible you don't know other rich people. Like, mind blowing. But this is what he's been saying.
Well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful.
Let's run that back real fast.
You found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful. I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy, very proud of the work of the foundation. That's what I get up every day and focus on.
His response to just say, well, he's dead. Come on. Crazy. Rich man. Some of these rich people are really weird when it comes to some of the things they get into and be involved with and the people they're around. These are one of those cases. The excuses you make no sense. You're too smart. You have too much money and accessibility to make somebody like me believe you needed Jeffrey Epstein to be a middleman. Sounds crazy. Like, you can't make that up at all. Like, who in their right mind believes what you're trying to propagate in this moment? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So, it's time for some TV talk. And y'all already know what time it is. You already know who I'm trying to talk about. That's right. Season finale of Raising Kanan is coming up. Episode 9 led up to a lot of things that happened. Rock sent her boy out there to go catch a baddie. The show said the streets need a baddie, and she sent them to go kill his real pops. And that's crazy right there. His mother sent him out there to go kill his real father. But from the trailer, it don't look like maybe he died or not. It looked like he may survive because he didn't do the job right. She told him 2 times in the chest, once in the head. He hit him twice in the chest, none in the head. Now we see in the trailer that he may still be alive. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for y'all, good people. And not only that, we seen the smartness of Rock to really set up Unique. Because the war's coming. It looks like the war's really about to be full blown out there. But they stole Unique's jacket to give to Kanan to wear when he went to go shoot the cop. So if people saw him, they would notice that the jacket, which is Unique's, that was a Unique jacket, And they would, think it's not Kanan. They would think that it's Unique doing it versus Kanan. That was smart to set him up. But Marvin, why you had to do that to Jukebox, man? Why do you had to do that to Juke, man? I know back then you on a timepiece, so it's a different time, but why you had to do that to Juke? He was already a poor father, bad example as an uncle. Now they didn't say you the Boosie of your time. Boosie ain't never beat on nobody, but he definitely put hands on his daughter and damn near choked her to death to get his point across. Marvin, you slipping, you're messing up, man. You're messing up. But Raising Kanan has been really good. So, here we go. Hold on 1 second. I gotta fix this little speaker for ya. Alright, let me run that back.
I had to do it. Dudes coming after me and my family.
Just looking mad heated out here right about now.
We need to get you out of sight.
Southside won't burn tonight.
It's about to be the first night of the rest of our lives.
What are you doing, Rob?
I'm winning.
So as y'all see, it looks really interesting going into the season finale. Not only that, I think after this goes off, the BMF show comes on. So I'm definitely going to be tuning in. Again, shout out to 50 Cent, Green Light Gang. That boy putting out good product. I got to support. He keep putting out good product. And, as I say, if you got good product, you're going to get a repeat customer out of me. But it's your boy, DJ the ParkBoy. This has been a new episode of The L.I.M.E Show. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Check out other videos on the Next Up Network. But it's me, and I'm out.